Before we begin, what I'd like to do is I'd like to tell you why this video matters and what you're going to take away from it. Engineering mindset can also help us understand life, communication, relationships, and perhaps one of the most beautiful systems out there, which is raising a child. Here's why you should listen. Parenthood is overwhelming for many of us, not because we're bad parents, but because we are using wrong mental models. We treat it like a guessing game or a puzzle with one correct answer. But engineers don't think like that. Engineers typically think in systems. They approach complex systems with clarity, with curiosity, and with structure. And when you apply that same mindset to parenting, then everything becomes a little bit simpler. Emotional moments make sense. Tantrums become predictable. Your child's behavior becomes readable. You stop reacting and you start understanding. Everyday chaos just becomes manageable, even fun at sometimes. And that's what this video is about. It's not about parenting tips. It's not about theories, not about judgment. This is about giving you a new operating system for raising a child. One that removes pressure, adds clarity, and turns challenges into something you can actually enjoy solving. So if you are a parent or planning to be one, or simply you're just love learning how a system works, then this will be one of the most practical mental models you hear. Let's get into it. Your child is a system, not a puzzle. A lot of parents think of their child like a puzzle. Where is the right piece? What's the correct method? What's the right answer? And engineers are not very fond of puzzles. At least I'm not. Most of us engineers, we love systems because systems are interactive. They adapt. They have inputs and they have outputs. They behave differently based on different conditions. And your child is exactly that. A puzzle is frustrating. A system is fun. It's a sandbox. Once you shift your mindset from I must solve the child or I must solve my child to I get to understand the system, then parenthood becomes a place for creativity. Crying? That's not failure. That's data. Tantrum? The system is signaling overload. Interesting. Quiet curiosity? System is operating in stable equilibrium. Let's observe. You stop thinking, what's wrong with my kid? And you start thinking like an engineer. What is the system telling me? And how do I tune it? This shift alone transforms your stress into something closer to enjoyment. If there is one thing engineers obsess over, it's signal versus noise. Noise runs everything. Noise makes data useless. Noise can mislead you. Noise wastes time. And parenthood is 90% noise. TikTok parents with perfect routines. Moms on Facebook telling you what you should, what you shouldn't do. Contradicting expert advice. Milestone comparison charts. Instagram perfection. Random opinions from strangers. Heck, even your parents telling you and giving you advices. All noise. Engineers ignore noise like our life depends on it. What matters is the signal. the meaningful data. And parenting has one core signal. Is the child fed, rested, safe, connected, and stimulated enough? Not too much, not too little. That's the whole operating manual. Everything else is optional add-ons. When you apply engineering thinking, suddenly you feel empowered. Nope, this is noise, not relevant to our system. And the best part, engineers actually like filtering out the noise. It is satisfying. You feel like you're cleaning up a massive frequency and finding clarity in the chaos. Here is an engineering truth that makes parenting so much more fun. All systems, from rockets to robots to toddlers, seek stability. Children don't need perfect parents. What they need is a predictable input. Engineers love this. Why? Because tuning for stability is the most satisfying part of any system. A tiny adjustment suddenly creates a huge improvement. One small parameter changes everything. In parenting, stability equals routines that can rely on a calm parental tone, predictable meal and sleep patterns, clean boundaries, consistent emotional feedback. And here is where it gets fun. Stability doesn't mean every day must be perfect. Engineers never design for perfection. What we try to do is we design for tolerances. Systems only fall apart when they go above or beyond the tolerance limits. A toddler can handle a late nap, a rushed morning, a skipped bath, a noisy restaurant trip, as long as the system stays within acceptable thresholds. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to stay within an operating range. And for engineers, that's great news because tuning tolerances is our kind of challenge. Now, here's one of my favorite engineering parallels. FMEAs, failure, mode, and effect analysis. It sounds intense, but all it means is what might go wrong, why does it go wrong, what's the impact, and what is the mitigation. Engineers live for this stuff. In the medical device industry, I can tell you this is one of the main deliverables for any project that's being developed. Let's apply it to parenthood. Scenario is a toddler meltdown in a store. The failure mode is the emotional system overload. The cause, well, that can be hunger, fatigue, overstimulation. And what is the impact? The impact is crying, is screaming. What is the mitigation? It's snack, it's calm environment, it's sensory reset. And when you think like this, and when you apply all of these things, the meltdown stops. And it becomes a fascinating case study. You're no longer frustrated. You're curious. You're not embarrassed. You're engaged. The mindset turns parenting challenges from, oh my God, to interesting. Let me troubleshoot this. And suddenly you see yourself having fun. Feedback loops are the heart of engineering. A thermostat adjusts the temperature. A rocket adjusts its trajectory. A robot analyzes a path. A trading system adjusts risk. Your child, same thing. Children regulate based on your feedback loop. If you as a parent get stressed, then they escalate. If you slow down, then they will settle. If you smile, then they will mirror that. If you panic, they will destabilize. You maintain calm, they stabilize. As a parent, you're literally the control loop of the entire system, which in this case happens to be your child. And here is the fun part for engineers. You can see your influence in real time. You adjust, they adjust. It's the closest things to watching closed loop system and closed loop control theory happening live in your living room. It is quite fascinating, and it's humbling, but it's also very much rewarding. And once you notice it, parenting becomes an interactive system. You enjoy participating in it. It's not a storm that you're really trying to survive. Here is the simplest, most engineer friendly parenting formula I've ever used: input, observation, adjustment, repeat. Let's go with an example. So, input: what am I giving the system? Tone, food, environment, pace. Observation: what is the child signaling? Energy, stress, curiosity. Adjustment: what are the small changes I can make to stabilize the system? Less noise, maybe more connection, maybe slower pace. And then run the loop again. This turns parenthood from guesswork into a feedback driven, curious, but almost enjoyable experiment. Engineers love loops like this. It's literally our happy place. Why this makes parenting more fun? When I became a dad, I thought I had to know everything. And it turns out I didn't need to know everything. I just needed the right mental model. Once I started to see my child as a beautiful, evolving system, parenthood became less about pressure and more about playful curiosity. And that's what engineers do best. We learn, we adjust, we explore, we tune, and we enjoy the process. Parenthood is not a puzzle. It's not a test. It's not a performance. It's a system that you get to understand. A system you get to tune. A system that constantly evolves with you. And honestly, it is the most fun engineering project of your life. Thanks for watching. And if you want more engineering, trading, and life through science content, then hit that subscribe button. And most importantly, give your kid a hug today. It's good for their system.